Fellas, we've been doing this 11 years. And the one thing I found out about not only our league, football league in general, but especially our league, God has blessed us with so much. But God has blessed TFL. When people on the outside look at our game, what they see hoodlums, they see thugs. That's what they see on the outside. But on the inside, we've had a player that was in the NFL. We had players that played collegiate football on the top level. TFL's been in newspapers. We got teachers. We got doctors. We got a lot of people that own their own businesses. TFL is great despite what people think on the outside. So for that, we gotta protect TFL. We're gonna fight like brothers. We're gonna get upset like brothers. But we gotta know at the end of the day, we are brothers. We've dealt with tragedy. We dealt losing our brothers, and we also dealt with stuff which is people like Pam's, people like Dave has taught me, Chuck. They lost their mother. So because of that stuff, and my other brothers that lost their mother, we spend more time with our mothers. Because of I lost my niece, Moya lost his daughter, we play more time for our kids because we know tomorrow's never promised.
Yes, sir.
So we will never let nobody destroy our game. Don't leave here with no animosity because there's no beef in football. We got people that's been here that know real beef in the streets. There's no beef here. You're safe, you're protected here, but we gotta make sure we keep that. I just want to tell y'all because we don't know what happens tomorrow. We thought we would see Mijo, never saw him again. So when you leave, regardless of what's happened here, don't forget to enjoy the moment. Okay? I love y'all guys, y'all bottom of my heart.
Let's go, let's go.
Who's gonna take us to prayer and then we'll start this game.
Hey, Jake. All right.
Really quick,
I'm gonna read something real quick and explain it even quicker. I'm reading out of Romans 6, starting from verse 16. Do you not know that if you present yourself to anyone as obedient slaves, you are slaves of the one who you obey, either of sin which leads to death, or obedience which leads to righteousness? But thanks be to God that you were once slaves of sin, have become obedient from the heart to the standard of teaching to which we were committed, and having been set free from sin, have become slaves of righteousness. So now with that, I'm going to ask you, who are you obedient to? Are you obedient to your sin? And if you are obedient to your sin, you are obedient to your master, which is the devil. Whether you believe it or not, that's what the scriptures teach. Now, if you're obedient to God and his laws, then you are that's who your master is. Now, we all sin, every single last one of us. Timmy especially, where is that Lord? There you go. We all sin, but you know what? Those who have put their trust and faith in Christ have an advocate who stands before God as your attorney. Now, those who don't, then when you stand before God, what is he going to see? Is he going to see your sin, or is he going to see the blood of Christ? Now, I'm just going to leave you with that. Think about it at the end of the day. Like I said, go to Romans 6:16. With that, let me pray. Heavenly Father, we just come humbly before you, Lord, thanking you for this day, Lord. We thank you for your grace and your mercy. Lord, I just ask you, Lord, to just watch over these men, Lord, as they play this game that they love. But Lord, that when they go to sleep, Lord, that they may ponder, who are they enslaved to? Lord, I just thank you for this opportunity. And Lord, we just thank you and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Good luck, guys.
Let's go, fellas.
What's going on, people? What is going on? What is going on? We are finally here. Let me start off with saying I'm humble and it's a blessing to have you guys with us here today. I'm Stephen J. I'm going to welcome y'all guys to Real Tough Talk. I'm here with my partner, Ghost, my other partner, Lou the Shooter, and we are here to bring y'all championship day. It all comes down to this. This is what all the season was for. Last two teams standing in the UFL championship, PME versus Rep C.
First of all, I always tell you, your screen does not look like mine. So if you think that I'm on this side or whatever, I'm on the opposite side. So
you know that dude, he's special needs.
So I have to
Wait, he
keep
called the
reminding you.
Special Olympics?
Yeah, dude is dyslexic on Zoom. That's crazy.
Listen, but yeah, thank you. I'm over on that side. But listen, it was a treat to watch that game. It was really exciting. It was practically down to the wire. I would say not exactly. It was a few plays off, but both teams competed. Both teams played hard. It came down to a few good plays that determined the winner in the overall game. So it was exciting all the way into the end.
You're being nice, Mike. You're being way too nice. Yes, it was an exciting game.
Yeah, it
There
was.
was some shady cooked.
Yeah. Oh,
And there was some dumb defensive plays.
You kind of gave away a lot of what we were gonna talk about.
I'm just saying. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna
we
say
already
that.
know.
I'm
Yeah,
just
we
saying there
already
was some
know, but I
there was
wanted to
some
get into detail, but you just
bad.
couldn't
Yeah,
help
okay,
it. Yeah.
we could get into details, cuz. Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we already know what happens. Rep City will be victorious in this game. But we're gonna break down the game. We're gonna give you our opinions in the game, and we're gonna tell you what we think happened to PME will cost in this game. So, listen, I give you the quick tale of the tape. PME's coming in 4-4. They're the number 5 offense in the league, scoring 18.2 points a game. Defensively, they're 7th, giving up 21 points a game. They were the number 2 seed. They were 4-4. They're 4th in sacks. They're 5th in interceptions. They beat DG 21-20 to get into this game. And in the Elite 8, they beat Primetime 24-22. Then you got Rep City. Rep City comes in 7-1. They're number 2 in scoring, 24.8 points a game. They're number 1 on defense, 9.2 points a game. They're number 3 in sacks, and they're number 1 in interceptions. They beat Monarchs to get to this game, beat them 27-14. And in the Elite 8, they beat UTF 20-6. Now, both teams would have deactivated this one of their draft picks, as Rep City deactivated Tuff, basically, 2 seasons ago. And PME deactivated Mo. Mo made a few games during the season, but he did not make enough to qualify, which is why Doughboy deactivated. So, what is you guys' thoughts coming into this game as far as both teams go in order to be victorious? We know what happened, outcome, but what do you think PME needed to do to win this game and Rep City needed to do to win this game?
Well,
starting with you, Lou.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Lou.
Okay. For PME, remember I said it need to spread that ball around. You know what I'm saying? Get it. Shane should be the main target. You know what I'm saying? With Nico underneath and Quan in there as well. You know, and add the, you know, like Dash and stuff like that. And their defense, you know, you're playing a top offense. You know what I'm saying? Trying to take advantage of situations. You know what I'm saying? You know, you already know how it's going all season, where you mess up on a play and next thing you know, the team scores. You know, so
Correct.
that was the thing for them.
And me personally, I believe that defense, 2 things, defense and Rel's performance were 2 of the key things that they need to be efficient in this game. 1, defense needs to find a way to make Adi's job that much harder, because Adi has been having a smooth sailing season. He had, I believe, like 1 real tough game this season. That was
Which
the
is
Untouchables.
UTF, which was the first half.
Oh yeah,
Untouchables,
UTF the first half, and then that was it. But you know, once he started getting to his stride, the game was over. But I would say the closer game that he had to struggle on was that game against Untouchables, the game that he ended up losing that game in the regular season by 1. So other than that, Adi and this offense has been smooth sailing all season. So PME's defense needs to find a way to lock up, put pressure on Adi, make him throw some uncomfortable passes, make him be uncomfortable in that pocket. They have to make a difference there. And Rel needs to be efficient. He needs to be able to get his guys in the end zone, drive down the field, and take what the defense gives you. He cannot afford to make too many mistakes in this game, because Rep City's defense will definitely they always capitalize in the end.
I'm going to jump into that game because a lot of people figured out Rep City should be looked to as undefeated. And we'll give a little bit of substance about that. So I'll go to the tail of the tape for that game. Like I said, they went into half chasing one. It should have been tied. It was a mix-up with the score because of the rain. No excuses. Bad call by me as the official. I'm not going to put it on no one else but me. But in the second half, they scored to take the lead.
Mhm.
So that nullified the fact that they were chasing. Now, that game, Adi threw 2 interceptions that game.
Mhm.
He threw one to PG, and he threw one towards the air. Now, they went up. Untouchables came back and scored, and then Rep City got the ball back and was driving, and Adi threw a pick to Nick. Nick picked him off on a bad play by Wesley when Wesley jumped with one hand and Nick picked it off. They needed to stop the first down. Untouchables got the first down, which ended the game. So we can't sit down and say, oh, that 1 point cost them the game. That's not true, because they knew going into half that the score was wrong. And again, no fault of their own, but the score was wrong. So you went into half knowing you were chasing one. You scored and took the lead. So that takes away the fact that that 1 point. Now, coincidentally, they end up losing by 1 point. But again, that had nothing to do with the fact that they were chasing one. They came and scored in the second half. Untouchable scored. They threw an interception. Adi second of the game. Untouchable got the first down, ended the game. So everybody's free to have their own opinion. But as far as talking about that game, they did not lose based on that 1 point. They lost because they took a lead in the second half and they gave it up, and then they threw an interception, and then they couldn't stop the first. That is what lost the game. Score. The game was played on the field. Now, if the score was messed up at the end of the game, then I get it. But when they went into the half, they knew it was a mix-up with the score, and they were chasing one. I'm not going to allow anybody to have it. Now, again, everybody's free to have their own opinion, but we're not going to use it as an excuse to why they lost the game and they should have been perfect. No, they knew that the score was messed up going into half. We tried to check the video, and we could not tell where the team went for 2 or 1 because of the position of the field. I just wanted to say that because that's the last time I'm going to address that. They did not lose the game because of a misprint of the score. They were down because of the misprints of the score, but they had an opportunity to win the game. They lost. Bottom line. Y'all could comment on that. I just wanted to say that because we're hearing the same thing. That does not take away from their season. And to me, I think the loss was good because since then, Adi was lights out every other game.
Yeah. And my thing is, it's like telling me that, oh, my basketball team lost the game because this one person missed the 3-pointer in the first half, or the 3-pointer wasn't counted in the first half, and then we ended up losing by 3 in the second half. How does one thing be related to the next? You wouldn't say that in a basketball game. And it's relatively the same thing. Scores in the first half don't always affect what happens in the second. So, especially when you take the lead. So, a lot of these things are not related. It may sound like it's related, but it's always coincidental when it ends this way, especially when one thing in the first half supposedly affects something in the second half. So that's my opinion on that. I don't think that it was that big of a deal. And I think that, like you said, the loss was actually needed to fuel the fire for this team because they were excellent from that game on. You know, that's just how the numbers lined up. I think that it actually benefited them in the end.
Luke, thoughts on that?
I get what you're saying, but you still can't take away from the fact that that 1 point doesn't mean that they would have won the game. You know what I'm saying? That's where, you know, it's a slippery slope with that, because I get what you're saying, but in the second half, I don't think you're playing like, I don't know. It's tough, but I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's just hard when you take a loss as opposed to a tie, which still, if any work, look, best case scenario would have been a tie game. They still wouldn't have had a win. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny because they probably could have lost anyway, because in overtime, you get a shot. So who knows if they would have still lost anyway. So
you know what it is? That's the same assumption as saying, you know, you went into the half down a point. You know what I'm saying? I can see the argument on both sides.
All I said is, if the guy would have been called, he would have called it inbounds and been called out of bounds.
Listen,
no challenges in the regular season.
Listen, I get it.
Well, we have sat down and said, well, listen, the official calling them out of bounds instead of inbounds cost them the game, even though that was in the first half.
And you know, it
We
wouldn't have
wouldn't
mattered. It wouldn't have mattered regardless.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
it was
So-
no seeding issue neither.
But
So-
I just want to end it
Right.
here. But I just want to end it here. Listen, dudes is arguing because they want bragging rights to say that they were undefeated throughout the season.
Right.
You know? But at the end of the day, these dudes won the championship. And I don't think the championship is any different when you win undefeated or you win this way. It's
Right.
still a dominant
But-
season regardless of what.
But Ghost, listen to this. And last thing, because I want to talk about their former matchup. Who's to say if they would have won that game?
Right.
That's
they
what I
would've
just
went
said.
on that run.
Yeah.
Who would have said that it wouldn't have changed the whole script
Yeah.
of what happened? We don't know.
Mhm.
So, like, to say that, it just makes no sense, but they're free to have their own opinion. I just want to give you they had an opportunity. That was Adi's worst game. He threw 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was his worst game of the season. It happened game 1, then won 7 straight. Now, do y'all think the fact that Rep City played PME in the regular season and beat them 29-14, do you think that that can impact this championship game?
I would say yes, only because they're going in confident. You know what I'm saying? Their defense held them down to 2 scores. You know, I'm not worried. I'm not concerned if I'm them. You know what I'm saying? Going in, I'm like I said, I'm not afraid going in.
Right.
Especially after I won 7 in a row
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I got my whole team.
Mhm.
yeah. And what's your thoughts, Ghost?
I would say, first of all, Rep City's confidence is through the roof after that Final Four game.
Yeah.
So that alone is fuel to win this game, you know, because your team was able to pick up knowing that you had 5 guys gone, and they were still able to play a dominant game on
Mhm.
both sides
Yep.
of the field. That
Yep.
is an uplifting momentum. Like, that is fuel. That is the ultimate fuel for any team to play hard in this game. But also, in terms of affecting this game, I think that it would, because you understand a slim understanding of what to expect from this team.
Right.
You know exactly what they like to do. You know who to look for. You know who to worry about, who to focus on. And that alone is enough to give you a strategy on how to move forward playing against them in the playoffs and ultimately this game in the championship.
And remember, they're playing. They beat convincingly the defending champ.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. All right, we're going to jump right into the game with PME getting the ball first. Rel on 4 rush, those are Swiss on the sideline, who cuts inside, dodges 2 tags, and runs for a nice game. I think Swiss is very important. He showed this season, but especially in this playoff run, that he has a lot left in the tank. And to get him involved early, I think was genius. 4th down, Rel on 4 rush, throws to Jaquan, cutting in the middle for a decent game, picking up the 1st down. Ghost, Lou thinks that Shane should be their number 1 guy. I still think that Jaquan is talented enough to do a little more than Shane, and I think it's important that they get him involved, and they got him involved here.
Yeah, because Jaquan is supposed to be their number 1 guy, regardless of who you drafted, regardless of who else you have on the team. Jaquan is their signature star. He is their guy. So if you don't get him early in the game, it's gonna hurt everything else, especially in the championship game. They're fighting for that championship. Jaquan has to be involved, and it's good that they got him involved so far.
All right, Rel throws to Jaquan in the gap, getting him to the 3-yard line. 2nd and goal. Rel finds Jaquan cutting in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. 6-0. PME scores first. Luke, this was the Jaquan drive. They went to him numerous times, and it's good when you can cash that check in early and get your confidence in early. Great drive by them.
exactly like you said, get that confidence early. And again, Jaquan is basically Rel's main receiver for the most part. That's his most trusted one who he's gonna go to. You know, and he took advantage of the situation.
Rep City gets the ball back. 2nd and Adi with blitzing, who's blitzed by Swiss. Those are Test cutting in the gap. Test runs on the sideline. Decent game, getting him to the 45-yard line. Now remember, they found Test on a big bomb in the Elite 8. They didn't have Test last week, so he went away with the guys. To have Test back is very important, and I like the fact that Adi's getting him involved because he can go them downfield at any time. After getting the first, Adi on 4 rush, throws a cabbie on the sideline, getting him to the 10-yard line. If you look here, Mimi's at corner watching the quarterback. Gotta watch Mimi this game. He's gonna struggle. There's no reason for you to be watching Adi because Adi's not a big-time runner. He can run the ball, but his arm is more dangerous than his leg. If he runs, that helps you out. That means you stop him from getting 15, 20 yards going downfield. Mimi gets caught here, and that's one thing Adi will find the weaknesses, and he finds it here. Third and goal, Adi with blocking by B-Dot. Those are Shady in the corner end zone for the touchdown. Dave gets the extra point, 7-6. Rep City scores right back. If you look here, Shady's able to run right past Jaquan. And must have got mixed on a switch up because Nico comes in to help on pressure. Jaquan gives Shady a split second. And with that bad man, you can't do that. A split second equals a 6-piece. No biscuit. That's a touchdown.
And that was an excellent throw too.
Yo.
Like, right by him.
And the crazy thing is Nico is playing him tight, trying to push him, and then lets him go to rush. Why would you try to rush?
You know what? No. I get the exact reason why. Because
30 yards
Adi,
out.
because Adi is that
Move.
man. He can run. He got moves. He runs like 80 miles an hour. He's gonna run it into the end zone from there. So Nico had to step up and guard him. Like what? I want him to run. If I'm Nico, I want him to run because he's going to get flagged regardless. Rather than give him this throw, allow him to run. That's the smartest thing you could ever do. He should have faked rushing in and then go back. That probably would have been an interception. So
I disagree. I'm not giving Adi time. So we send the help because Dot is a great blocker. But the problem with that is the switch. That automatically becomes Jaquan's man. And once you see this guy, if you look at it, the way he rushed in, Jaquan was turned for a quick second. So by the time Shady bounced back to the outside, Jaquan is late. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if Jaquan knew from the beginning that Nico was going to rush in, because if he knows it from the beginning, he placed Shady on the outside early.
Yeah.
But by the time Shady ran in, they had no strategy. Jaquan did not know, and by the time he realized it, it's over. Because Adi sees Nico coming in. And that's so he knows Shady's open on the outside. That is great timing. That is a veteran quarterback using your defensive strategy against you.
Right.
And that's why they got a 6-piece, no biscuit, no drink. They're choking because now they're losing.
So now the thing is, like you said, Adi comes out of the pocket, but you know what? I'm gonna give him them yards. Why would I leave the defender? I mean, leave the offensive player to. He's not. Well, there's no communication. Basically, that's what
the bottom line.
No communication. Jaquan is enough space that Shady can get the ball, and you're on the island. You're dead in the water.
Well, it's 7-6 Rep City. Rel gets the ball back. Run on second down with blocking from Swiss. Those are cutting in the middle. We're blocking by Chad. Runs for a nice game, picking up the first down near the 40-yard line. Chad with a great block there, gives us some more yards. Second down, Rel is blitzed by Butho, who's blocked by Swiss. Rel throws the dash on the sideline, getting him to the 3-yard line. If you look here, Finney leads the corner. And this is all about Swiss giving him time. Swiss, that general, is willing to do whatever it takes to get this team a championship. And he buys time because Butho's a great blitzer, but I think Swiss is a little stronger. Third and goal, Rel finds Jaquan cutting in front of the end zone for the touchdown. Dash gets a 2-point conversion. 14-7 PME takes the lead. Jaquan is cooking. Ghost, he's cooking right now. He may have gave up 6, but he scores 6 right back.
Shady's on Jaquan, and then he lets him go to guard, I guess, the sun. Shadow on the floor. I don't know. He was like lost. He turned around and he's like, where did he go?
Yeah.
And Jaquan was all alone.
Mm-hmm.
The closest defender was Finney, and he had Swiss in the back. Bad defense for that number 1 defense.
Yep. And this is Rel playing efficient. Like I said, this is what they need from him. This is what they need. Finding the guys in the gaps. You have Swiss giving him time, and him connecting with Jaquan. Those are 3 great things that this offense has been doing, and that's why they're able to keep up, scoring right back, taking the lead.
And you know what, Jaquan had that confidence after that second touchdown.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's
Right.
like, he got a little peacock strut. So they're feeling themselves right now.
Yeah, and they should, because they're
Yeah.
playing well.
14-7 PME. Second down, Adi is blitzed and sacked by Swiss. Swiss gets to B-Dot to pick up the sack. It's a big sack by Swiss. Say that 3 times fast. He has sacked every quarterback he's played in this playoffs. He got Jimmy Milo, he got Chuck, and now he got Adi. And he beats again. He beats a good blocker in B-Dot. He beats him. So for everybody that's thinking that Swiss is old,
Excuse me. Anybody or you talking about
he's
Stephen
not
J?
old. This guy still got
Stephen
moves.
J.
This still is a capable playmaker. Big sack there by Swiss. Hey, yo.
You see that?
Third down, Adi.
You got to do a compilation of when he was talking bad about him.
Third down, Adi throws a Dave near the sideline for a decent game. If you look here, Mimi's playing too far back. Mimi should have been benched. Chad should have been in. Mimi been getting cooked the whole game. I don't understand. Listen, it's not about feelings now. It's about wins. And Mimi has not played good all day. He's been playing too close. He's been playing too far back. He needed to be benched. I put that on Doughboy. Fourth down, Adi on 4 rush runs for a short game, picking up the first down. The one thing you cannot let Adi do for a first down is run. You're able to make this stop. You're able to get the ball back. That is a big run, Lou, by Adi, hurting the scene with his feet to pick up the first down.
Like you said, you it's better to let, if anything, for him to run. That's bad defense right there, letting him run for the first down. Or good defense because everybody was covered. You know what I'm saying? But you don't. Either way you. Can I say screwed?
Well, that's first and goal. Adi with blocked by Vida, throws deep to Dave in the gap. The pass is low and dropped. After a short pass for second down, on third down, third and long, Mimi is flagged 15 yards with 10 seconds left on the clock. You know what Mimi said? You know the effing vibe.
And what vibe is that? That he's getting cooked?
Maybe it's the slow vibe. It's not the intelligent vibe. Because this was third and long. And I believe it was Rico on the sideline
Yes.
that said something.
Yep.
And Mimi follows up. You know the effing vibe. This is the most selfish thing you could do to your team.
Yeah.
Because you know the vibe is a sour quote, correct? Sour Factory quote.
Yeah. Well, that's his new team because there's no more sour.
Yeah, but that was the original saying for Sour Factory, right?
Yeah.
Is Sour Factory playing? I didn't see a leaf on the field. I didn't see that. So Sour Factory in the thing, why is he saying the Sour Factory quote when he's playing on PME?
You know what's crazy?
After getting cooked earlier in the game.
You see, if he made a big play, okay, all right. You can say the vibe, but what did you do to know the vibe?
What's the vibe? Wow. Well, that's going to move one of the most dangerous quarterbacks in UFL up 15 yards. Now, it's third down at the 15-yard line. Adi finds Shady Cut in the end zone for the touchdown. Grunt gets the 2-point conversion. 15-14. Ref City take the lead. Now, I'm going to take you over the 2-point conversion. It's a great play, but let's get the touchdown. If you look here, Shady destroys Nico. And you would think that they were in a phone booth because there's so much little space. He beat Nico on an in-out route. Now, Nico, no one's been killing themselves talking about Nico as a defender. So I don't know why they thought this was a good matchup. Just because the guy is the same height as him, that doesn't mean he can guard him. Shady embarrasses. They should call child services on Shady with this move that he made on Nico. And then if you go to the extra point, Swiss puts everything he has into this hit. And Grunk earned his name, keeping his feet in, scoring the 2-point conversion, 15-14. Y'all take me to that play.
All right. What was how did you describe Shady on that route? What you said?
It's an in-out route.
No, I'm saying you said something like he called child services.
Yeah,
I
call
think
child services
I
because this
think
should be
Wayno
illegal.
was on there on the field because that was barbecue chicken.
Yeah.
Cooked. Yo, dude. He left his soul the direction that he thought he was going.
Uh,
Then on the extra point, look, Grunk. Chris. I'm not calling no dude Grunk because Grunk the real Grunk weighs about 100 pounds less. But Chris is a big target. And he better take that hit. Because Swiss tried to, even though that's his teammate on the U, he tried to bury him.
yeah,
And that dude held on to that ball. You got to give it to him.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That dude ain't fast, but he makes plays at the end of the day.
PME gets the ball back. They're going to try to get a good return. They get a good return, but they can't do nothing into the half. And they go into the half chasing one. 15-14, Rep City.
I have a question.
Bro, tell me about Rep City, Lou. Give me PME.
Yeah, but Lou, ask your question first.
Yeah. My question is, should they have took a fair catch with the arm that Rel has as opposed to trying to run that back? It was 5 seconds left. You know what I'm saying?
No, because the ball was thrown too far. They barely got past the first down. So, yeah, they had no chance. So, I get why they tried to run the ball. You know, because Rel, even as good as his arm is, I don't think he can throw 80 yards. Because this field is big. So,
Right.
I don't think that he was able to get it from where they were at. So, yeah, that was just a done deal there. But listen, Rep City, I'm not saying they're perfect because they gave away 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
This is a back and forth game. Their defense is kind of like, wobbly, when you get a few punches in, the other guy gets a few punches in, you wobbly, like you losing your balance, whatnot. That's Rep defense right now. They're a little wobbly. They're getting tagged up every now and then. They still got the lead, but they're still getting tagged up. So they got to watch this PME offense because they're putting up points. For first 2 drives, they were right in the end zone. So, listen, they gotta find a way to slow down this PME offense. They've been playing well the first half. Their defense has to prove why they are number 1 in the league. Because right now, in the last couple drives, they haven't been. So they got to step it up. This is where chips are won. Hopefully, and yes, we already knew the outcome, but this is when the defense had to step up and make some stops in this second half.
Well, if I'm PME, okay, offensively we scored twice, but I can't let Shady. I'm gonna offer him some water with some extract in it or something to stop him because they obviously can't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Mimi, like Jay's been saying, I would have put Chad in. Mimi, I know this is the first time I actually know he's not a good defender. Was he ever known as a good defender or just a hitter? Because he'll hit.
He's just a physical guy. He did come up with a big interception last week versus DG, but he's not a great defender. He's not a great defender. It's not BQFL. You're playing against top athletes in this game, and you have to adjust and know what they're doing. And that's the thing. Now, I'm gonna look at both teams real quick. If I'm PME, you score 14 points on a defense that gives up 9.2. Their 14 points in the first half is more points than Monarchs scored their whole game. In the game. More points than UCF scored in their game. Mm-hmm. So I'm proud of PME by putting up these points. But your defense, which has been 7th, which has been bad, is still bad.
Yes.
They're bad.
Yeah.
And you can't afford to try to get into listen, I'm not even going to say that. You got to be prepared to get into a shootout. That means you got to be able to score on every drive because your defense, you can't depend on them. And you can't expect to score on every drive when you're playing one of the best defenses in the league. So, I mean, listen, we know what's going to happen, but that's the mindset going into the half for PME. If I'm Rep City, this gives me thoughts of, Untouchables being able to score on my defense.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, we can say whatever we want, but Untouchables is able to score on this top defense. So they have to get it together to show that their defense is not just a number. They're actually a good defense. Because none of that matters this game. All the things you did before don't matter this game. You have to do it this game. We're going to jump into the second half with Rep City getting the ball. Second down, Adi's blitzed by Swiss and sacked at 4 rush by Mouse. This was all Swiss. Swiss bringing the pressure, and then Mouse able to come in freely to make the sack. That is a big play. I did not expect, you would expect Swiss to make an impact, but he's having everybody make an impact together. And that's a great defensive play there.
Yeah.
After getting the first down, Adi was blocking by B-Dot, attempts to make the throw to Shady. It's going to be dropped by Shady and caught by Jaquan, but just out of bounds, incomplete. Jaquan is woke now after being beaten in the first half. He's on this pass. Can you imagine if he could kept his feet in and kept his ball for an interception? Unfortunately, it doesn't go that way. Third down, Adi on 4 rush, throws to Wesley Cutting in the end zone, high, incomplete. Fourth down, Adi on 4 rush, throws to Dave in the front of the end zone. That's going to be dropped. Turnover and downs. PME gets the stop that they needed. This is their first stop of the day. They needed to stop desperately. And Lou, you got to be hyped if you're PME coming away with this huge stop. Regardless if it was dropped, regardless if it was on Idy's mistake, a stop is a stop equals a stop.
Oh, heck yeah. I'm going to be super duper excited. You know what I'm saying? We stop them. We already scored twice on them in the first half. Now I get the ball back. You know what I'm saying? I'm confident. You know, and that was, you know what? It was good defense by Quan on that one, because he kind of, if I'm not mistaken, he knocked it down. I couldn't really see because it was Ghost's shot was blocked.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was a drop, yes, because he was whatever the defense was. But still, now I'm getting the ball back after already scoring on them twice, because I'm not afraid of the defense.
Right.
You know, I'm going in confident.
All right. Second down, Rel on 4 rush. Those and Nico open in the gap for a nice gain and the first down. If you look here, Shady and Rel both slide to guard Chad, and Nico's left open. This is what you got to do. You got to catch Rep City not communicating. Great play by Rel to know who to go to. Going to Nico as Chad brought 2 defenders to himself. Next play, Rel is blitzed by Maj. Rose left, throws to Nico on the sideline, off target, incomplete. Third down, Rel on 4 rush, throws to Nico in the gap, high, incomplete. If you look right here, Swiss is open on the sideline. Wide open on the sideline. They miss him and they have to punt. Swiss is open on the sideline. Jaquan is open in the gap.
In the middle, yep.
And this is a bad play by Rel. He got to be able to watch the field. He didn't, and this punt hurts them because they could have kept driving the ball and they have to punt. I would be concerned on this. They've been stopped their last 2 drives. I'm not going to crop the last one before half because they didn't really have any time. But this is an official stop. And when you are able to stop Rep City, but their defense stops you, you just got their number 2 offense in the league hyped again. That's a bad mistake by PME there, Ghost.
And the thing about this play here is, you had 2 options. You could go to Swiss on the sideline, get some extra yards for a 4th down play where you could try to get the first down, or you had an instant first down and some with Jaquan open in the gap. And he missed both of those throws. I guess he saw Cabby rushing in, and he just wanted to get the ball off. But that is a dangerous mentality to have when you're not able to find your guys in that play. And I believe they were arguing after this play was over before the punt. Jaquan is like, listen, you got to read for me first. You got to look for me. At any given moment, he's calling for the ball. Rel has to find Jaquan. He's your main guy, like we said early in the first half. He missed him here, and that led to them having a punt. You cannot afford to mess up here when you were given an opportunity by your defense to get the ball back, to score and take the lead here.
You know, it's crazy that like Jay said, with Cabby rushing, Rel was throwing a little off balance.
Yeah.
You know, Cabby isn't really known for sacking dudes, but he's 6'5" with who knows how big of a wingspan.
And,
you know, he's rushing.
Yeah.
He's rushing the passes, and like you said, Jaquan. When I looked at your video, Jaquan was tight.
Yes.
He was like, like you said, I'm the read, and he said you're looking too much for that shot.
Yeah.
As opposed to chopping up the field, and you know what I'm saying, taking what's given to you.
All right, Adi gets the ball back. Adi on second down with blocking by P-Dot, throws the Cabby on the sideline for a nice gain and a first down. Mouse is flagged for holding, but it's declined. If you look here, Mimi again, watching the quarterback, and he's guarding nobody. Not helping his defense at all. Adi then throws deep to Shady, wide open in the gap, who runs it in for the touchdown. If you look here, Jaquan runs the opposite way, leaving Shady open. Tell me about that play, Lou.
Is there something to say?
Mimi is staring the quarterback down.
Yes,
For
on that
whatever
last
reason.
play. Yeah.
Maybe he was looking for you know the vibe. Maybe he was looking for some weed. I don't know what the heck he was looking at. But he let Shady go to guard no one. I guess he let him go so he can get a better look at Adi. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what it was. Jaquan, I don't know what the heck he was. He was playing center field, facing the play.
Yeah.
Once he hikes, he turns his back.
And goes the opposite way. Yes.
Goes the opposite way. For what? To guard no one? There was no one near him. I don't know if he has no peripheral. Maybe he needs glasses, something. But the dude that was been killing y'all for 2 touchdowns in the first half, how you gonna let him go?
So Mimi let Shady go at first.
He let him go. He let him go to guard
And
no one.
Jaquan is a perfect storm because Jaquan went the opposite way.
And
So
you're both
Shady
the
has a
safety.
free release.
Both safeties. And what do you imagine if they were crossing guards? You know how many little kids would get hit by cars?
Bro. But my thing is, listen, before you go on, we're hearing Mimi's name a little too much this game. And all of it is negative. All of it is negative. And that's the thing. When you have a guy that's not guarding guys, he's watching the quarterback, which we'd be saying you don't do because you're not following where the receivers are going, and you're going to get beat. A quick receiver is going to get open when you're watching the quarterback. That means you're trying to cheat and make a play. But you're not the guy that's supposed to be cheating. You're supposed to be guarding these men, and you're not doing that. This was the worst time to give up a touchdown like this. The worst time. But unfortunately for them, that's exactly what they do.
They go for the 2-point conversion. They throw it to Cabby in the back of the end zone. Cabby with the catch for the 2 points. PME's going to challenge that Cabby got the foot down. Take us to the challenge. Lewin goes, what y'all think about the play? It was originally called good.
A touchdown, right? I mean, the 2-point conversion. The thing is that when you throw the challenge flag, you go to the film.
Yeah.
Mine was blurry, so I ain't even go over to y'all. His was blocked.
Yeah.
Isaiah said he was out.
Yeah.
But now you go into the footage. If it's not clear on the footage, what can you do?
And
now,
we looked at Dawn's footage. She was on the sideline, and I believe somebody else recorded on their phone.
Yeah. Nas with an S.
Yeah.
And he was out. He was out. He had his other foot, like he had one down, and his momentum took him out. And the funny thing is that Cabby was saying, toe tap Cabby, dude.
See, but the thing about that is, first of all, we looked at and Gaio called the end. Gaio's closer than Isaiah. But the video was inconclusive because we slowed. Nas' video, you can't even tell.
No, you could.
Because Nas is, and we looked at it because Ghost had Nas' pictures coming from inside. And when you slow it down, the direction that Nas is, you can't tell if Cabby tapped that toe before it went out because of the angle it's going in this way.
Yeah.
You can't tell. We looked at it from Nas' view, and Nas, now the thing that I have a problem with the guys on the sideline is Dawn camera had to keep moving because her sight was blocked by the people on the sideline. So because they blocked it, she had to move to a different angle, which made the angle even that much more difficult to see. If guys would learn to get out of the way and give the camera people their space, we could get better shots. But because you always constantly got to go around fans and everybody, Ghost had to put Dawn at a different angle, which changes the play. Again, when we looked at Nas' camera, you cannot tell because the angle he has, he could have got the top in and then went up.
Yeah, my thing is you can see that his foot comes out, but before he steps out fully, there's no way to tell if he slid that foot on the ground before he steps out. And we all looked at it. We all looked at it a bunch of times. If you can tell by the shadow of a doubt that he did not slide
then you change the call.
Floor, then it would be an overturned play. But if not, that's what the word inconclusive means. It's not enough evidence to overturn the play. So that's why we went the initial call. Certain PME was upset with that call, but listen, it's not enough evidence. It's not enough. You can't just say, "Hey, he stepped out and that's it," because you can't tell if that foot slid.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's because you can't tell whether his foot touches the turf.
Correct.
You
Before
know
it
what I'm
goes
saying?
out.
So yeah, it's inconclusive. I get it. It looks.
But
it
Lou,
looks like,
you record. If
Yeah.
these guys would get out the way
dude,
and give the camera the angles, it's easier to see.
here's the thing, and a lot of the dudes that are on the field are players. How would they like it if they're playing?
Yep.
And there's an interception, and you can't get past because the crowd is there. But you know what it is? It's hard as a league. You could you get people off the field? Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they're gonna stay off.
Correct. They're gonna
There's
come
always
right
gonna be
back on
some
the
that
field.
get in the way. Always.
You know what it is? That there was times that Rel didn't have no space. Remember
Yep.
there was one play where they said, "Yo, move back," because he couldn't even scramble.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that messes up the game. You know,
Correct.
I shoot basketball, and I used to see that at Dykeman all the time. It's disgusting, bro.
Mhm.
But you got so many people on the field, and it happened early in the game.
Yeah.
If it's the last play of the game, okay, but what, the sideline view? There's trees on the sideline that you can't.
Yeah.
It's
And that
ridiculous.
is, listen, and that is a double-edged sword with having a game that everybody wants to see. It's
Right.
a big game, so that's the drawback to that everybody wants to have that perfect view
Now-
and get in the way.
The problem with this is he challenges. Now, I do not blame him for this challenge.
Right.
But Mimi again, had
Cause-
called a timeout originally at 12 minutes in the second half
Mm-hmm.
because it was a substitution. Even though Rep City wasn't even paying attention. They called the timeout. Mimi called it. So now because Doughboy challenges play and lost, he only has one timeout left. They already burned two.
But you
That
know,
has to hurt you.
you know what? Mimi tried to blame Swiss and say Swiss called the timeout. So now you're killing your team with your bad defense, and now you're lying on a timeout.
So it's 23-14. All right, Rel gets the ball back. Rel, on first down, throws to Jaquan on the sideline. Way off target, picked off by Rel, giving the ball back to Rep City. Shane, if you look here, is wide open in the gap, and it's 4 minutes left. PME would challenge his play. This is a bad challenge.
Hold on. You said that he was throwing to Rel or Shane because
There's no way to tell.
Jaquan, he wasn't. He wasn't throwing to Jaquan because Jaquan was nowhere near. It looked like he was throwing it to Shane, but he overthrew him.
But my thing is, bro, the ball was no closer to Shane
Right.
than it was to Jaquan.
You know what? At least it was sideline and Shane was near the sideline. Jaquan is like a little past the middle. You know what I'm
At
saying?
the end of the day, it
It's a
could have
bad
been
throw.
Jaquan, it could have been Shane.
Because I thought, listen, no, but I thought that it's because Jaquan stopped running, and that's why he threw it. If you look, he's in the gap. I thought that he was going to keep
He's in the
running,
gap,
and that's why he
yeah.
was going to be there. So I don't know what that throw was. That was
It
just a
doesn't
terrible
matter
throw.
because Rel ended up with the ball, not either receiver. Doughboy challenges. This is a bad challenge. That's your last time out. And both refs call it a pick. So, Ghost, we go to your footage. So, Rel gets the feet down. Doughboy challenge. I think it's a bad challenge. Ghost, take me through this one. Do you think he got the feet down? Both refs
Yes.
call it in.
Listen, it's no argument. He got the ball in. And this is something that I've seen Rel do time and time again. He's able to get those sideline interceptions. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah.
He's able to do it, and he does it regularly. So he just reads this play and just goes and gets it. This was a terrible throw. And that's why, me personally, I wouldn't challenge this play because at the end of the day, this interception was well-deserved, whether it was a good call or not. This was an ill-advised throw. If you look here, Shane is wide open in the gap. You don't need to throw it that far out. I believe Rel said that he was trying to throw it out of bounds because he missed the play or whatever. But regardless of what, there's no way. I'm throwing it 80 yards out of bounds if that's the case. I'm not giving it no chance.
In the traffic.
Yes. So my thing is, this was just a terrible throw. I'm even throwing it at somebody's back. I'm not trying to throw it in any play where a receiver or a defender can get a play on it, and that's exactly what happens. But worst thing about this is Doughboy trying to reach at everything he can, challenges his play, and I think that this was the worst decision than that throw. You take that and just hope your defense can make a stop. You need every timeout you can get. You already lost 2. This was your last one that you lost because you challenged on that cabbie play. So now, at this point, if there's a close play that's routing up when you're driving, you have no timeouts now. This was a terrible drive, and it's a terrible choice to call timeout here because they end up losing everything.
Doughboy admitted it after, and Mike said that he was ready to grab the challenge flag before it hit the ground because he knew that he was in.
Yeah.
No.
All right, Rep City gets the ball back. Rep City with 2 short plays for a few yards. Now they're looking to milk the clock. Third down, Adi throws to Dave in the gap, high, incomplete. It's dropped. Fourth down, Adi on 4 versus throws deep to test one-on-one with Nico in the gap. Nico gets a hand in. The pass is incomplete. Turnover on downs. So PME is able to make a stop. But I think this was more, when you're up 9, this was more about killing the clock. Adi knows they're down 2 possessions. So he's more focused on killing the clock. And, I mean, PME makes a stop, but I don't think Adi was really trying to score, Lou. I think he was just trying to kill the clock.
He didn't even go for the first down. So
yeah, here's the thing. Test was open, and I was in the back, and Nico didn't touch that ball. That was a straight drop.
Right.
Adi was going for the kill. He was going for the juggler. Right there, you scored, game's done. You know what I'm saying? But it's an ill-advised play, even though they're down 9, but you're giving them a little life.
Yeah,
right.
Don't do that. Don't take no risk. There's no need for it.
All right. PME gets the ball back. Second down after a short pass. Rel throws a Chad, cutting in the end zone, almost picked off by Rel. This would have been Rel's second interception. Third down, Rel with blocking by Swiss, throws a dash on the sideline, getting to the 4-yard line. 4th and goal, Rel finds Shane cutting in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Jaquan gets the 2-point conversion, 23-22. Rep City got the lead. I think their defense, Rep City's defense, kind of took the foot off the gas on defense, similar to their offense. But now PME's chasing one, and we got an onside kick goal.
And my thing is, listen, I think that they took their, they kind of eased up a little bit because, one, they know that
no timeout.
At the end of the day, they have no timeout. So even if they figure that they're going to drive, then they're not going to be able to have enough time to make any plays happen. So I think that was the reason why they were able to take their hand off, because they know that they're getting the ball back and the defense has no timeout. So they're like, pretty much the game is over. Adi did try to take that shot downfield that other game because I think that they also understood then that the other team has no timeout. So they weren't even working too much. They figured they still going to get the ball in the end of the day, and that's exactly what transpired.
But you know what? I don't know. Here's the thing. You got the #1 defense.
Yes.
I'm going to play defense to the end.
Just put it away. Put it away.
And,
right.
And Rel let Shane go. You know what I'm saying? Do you let him go? Because you I don't know. That's a tough one. But anyway, they're down a point with no timeouts and Rep City with the ball.
Well, PME goes for the onside. Cabby's going to make the catch. Rep City's going to run the clock out. End of the game. Rep City, the new champs, they win this game 23-22. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the interviews on the field, and when we come back, we're going to be with Cam from Rep City. We'll be right back.
Stephen J here with Shady, wide receiver of Rep City. He won championship MVP with 3 touchdowns. Shady, what was the mindset coming into this game that you were so much on fire?
Just play my game, act like it's any other game, and we wanted to come and stop them, but we didn't do that in the beginning, so I knew Adi was going to take over and just score when he needed to score. And any of my touchdowns, he called the play. He knew where it was going to be. He knew what he was doing. He really took over for us.
What was this season like, the grind all the way to get here?
Well, it's 10 weeks of rain, so that wasn't fun. So it was more just tread and play our game, get together, get composed as a team, and come together at the end and win the important one.
You killed this season, but you always killed. But it was in, I believe, Casino. Did you put TFL on notice on your talents?
I think so. I think this is the proof. But still, job's not done. This is church. I still got to go uptown now and keep doing it.
Last question. What was it like to play with Adi this season?
I never played with a real veteran quarterback. I play with a good quarterback, of course, but it's nice to play with a veteran that knows what he's doing and he can take over the game.
All right, we're going to thank Shady,
Bad young
championship MVP. He's a champ. Just that's all you can say. He's a champ. Congratulations, brother. Stephen J here with Cabby of Rep City. He was a second-round draft pick. He just won a championship. Did you take personal that you went in the second round?
Nah, because at the first draft when y'all say y'all was having it, I didn't really want to be in it. So a couple teams didn't think I was gonna be in it. But then Rep City, they called me on the side, say, yo, if we get this pick, we gonna pick you. So then I put my name in the draft, and that was it right there.
You carried the team offensively last year, but the offense was 9th overall, even though you had 7 touchdowns. You said they got to get a quarterback for you. Why did you feel that you was just one quarterback away from being where you at right now?
Because we had the #1 defense last year, and we stayed in every game last year. If we did lose, we probably lost by 1 or 2 points. So all we needed to get over the hump was to keep scoring with the teams, and we needed the quarterback to do that. And once we had Adi on the draft board, that was no brainer to pick him up.
What was it like playing with Adi this season? Matter of fact, let me rephrase that. What it was like playing with Rep City in general this season?
It was great. It was great. Definitely even more this year because the offense was crazy. We had the same defense as last year. It was #1 last year, #1 this year. So the defense was great. It's just the offense just turned up this year with having Adi, and it just made the season extra fun.
Winning a low of $500, pretty good. You know what I mean? You ain't had to do too much. But what did PME show you today, this game in the championship?
They was tough, man. It came down to the last possessions of the game. It wasn't no blowout, and for real, people thought we just had it easily because how we played for the season. But they came out and they showed heart.
Listen, he not gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. I could not believe this man fell to the second round. Still one of the most disrespectful things I've seen. And guess what? He's a champion now. Shout to him. Ready? Stephen J here with Dot Rep City. Look, you got the check, $5,200, $5,200. Listen, let me ask you a question. You know, you won a championship already, and guys was like, oh, they ain't had no A players, so we ain't really gonna call that A chip. Okay, we listen. You come back now. Now you got an A chip. What they gonna say now, Dot?
What they gonna say now? What they gonna say? You can't say nothing. We #1. And we the winners. You can't say nothing. Nobody beat us. Nobody.
How good does it feel now? You've been here before. You won a championship here with this team before. What's the difference now you're feeling right now?
You know what it is? I'm going to tell you what it is, man. We came from the bottom. Everybody always talk. Every week, everybody, Rep City this, Rep City that. Y'all whack, y'all this. They like to troll us on the internet. We stay off the internet. Forget about what they saying. Play our ball and execute every time. Shut them up every time. We leave it right on the field. Talk all you want. The numbers is proving it. That's it.
You said we got to get Adi in this draft. You had to get Adi as a draft pick. Why did you know that was the quarterback that you needed for the team?
As you know, I played with Adi on the U. I got a connection with Adi. He knows where to be at. Where for me to, get back on my block if I miss it. He knows how to move around. He knows his plays. All we was missing was a quarterback. Our defense was there last year. We stepped it up again this year. We added some Mabuto in there, and we made it #1. Last year we was what? #1.
Defensively, yep.
But this year we made the points go down. We added a little seasoning in there, boosted it up. All we needed was a quarterback. Got a quarterback. I wasn't worried about everything else. Everything else is there. As you see, everything else is there. We got firepower on both sides of the ball.
How fun was this season for you, bro? We know you're a church league fan, UFL fan. How fun was this season for you personally?
I had a great time. I had a great time in the mud, all that rain and all that. It was fun. It was fun. Came out here every morning and played ball. We ain't complain. Dudes was missing every week. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. Dudes was missing every week. Every week we missing. Oh, y'all missing this? Oh, y'all gonna lose. You missing this? Y'all gonna lose. We went to Vegas. We had a Vegas trip we playing. Final Four. You know what we did? We believed in our team. We knew we had the pieces to fill in. And look what happened. All you got to do is watch the film. We filled in every time. We ain't complained not one time. Every time we filled in the spots that we needed, no complaining, and we get the job done.
What did at least PME prove to you today? Playing them, you beat them in the regular season. What did they prove to you this game in this championship atmosphere?
They prove, don't doubt them. I'll tell you that. It wasn't easy. It's not going to be easy. But they made it here. They beat 2 GOATs. It's tough. They went against another GOAT. They held their ground. Respects to PME.
That is a champion again. I mean, they can't say nothing. Like I said, okay, we ain't have no A players, but then you come back and do it again. Like, what they going to say? I want to see the celebrating this team going to do, because if one team know how to turn it up, it's Rep City. So we're going to be watching the turn up. We're going to congratulate him. He's a champ. Let him enjoy it. We'll talk to you soon. All right, bro. Stephen J. here with Rel, starting quarterback. PME as they had a narrow loss versus Rep City. What happened this game? What did you think the one key call shot of this game?
I lost the game, bro. That pick, I was throwing it out of bounds. I thought Shane was going up. It was like a throwaway, and I should have just threw it out right then and there. If we score that drive, we go up. And they got to come down. Even if they score, we get the ball again, we score there, that's game, we stop them, you know. But other little things too, like the 15-yard on the 3rd down, calling a timeout here when we could have saved them, you know, other little things. But I'm a man, I'm the quarterback, I take it on my chin. I lost us this brand, you know.
You scored 3 touchdowns against one of the best teams. I don't understand how you put that on yourself. Tell me about the defense. They really couldn't slow Adi down. Shady had a party with 3 touchdowns. What do you see as far as Shady going?
I feel like, you feel me, like you said, I scored 3, but I could have scored 4, I could have scored 5. Defense stopped them. If we come down and score, we go up, you feel me, and they don't score. Shady had a good game, but I think we beat ourselves. Like, every time we lose, we beat ourselves. Like, I don't think no team is better than us, and I say that, you know, very confidently. You know, when we clicking, but we got to figure it out. We still putting our team together, you know. We just got people, Swiss, Mimi, but, you know, I think we lost by 1 point. We should have won by 7, but it happens.
Last question. What does it say about PME going forward? We heard kind of weird things that maybe, you know, they should break up, or what is your personal thoughts of PME going forward?
That's never going to happen. We're not breaking up. We're only building. You should know how many people ask us, yo, I want to run with y'all. You feel me? But talk behind the cameras when the cameras is on. So that's why we stay with our core people and we keep growing. You feel me? If you ain't with us, then you against us. And it's simple like that. Like, we don't pay players to come play with us like a lot of other teams. We don't ask to come play with us. Ask us. You know, I'll probably ask 2 people, and that's people from Carlton, because I like the way they run routes and I know how they're going to sit in the hole and I could get them the ball. But we don't ask people. We building something over here. You know, we got to the chip. We should have won it. I lost it for us. And, you know, next season we ball out. That's all it takes.
We're going to thank Ralph for being up here. I think they put their team on the map. The way they went through this run, they just came up short this game, but I don't think this is an ultimate loss. I think they're building. We've seen teams be here before, and they turn around. So we're going to show respect. And just let you know, the other team showed y'all a lot of respect. In their interviews, they gave y'all a lot of props. So PME is only going to get better. You use this as fuel and come back. Going to thank them from this season. Thank you for a great storyline. We're going to see y'all next season.